time to get out of here. Don't get me wrong, the urban life over the past week and a half or so has definitely been nice. We had the tiny house for a couple of days. That was a nice change of pace, definitely a good way to relax and get that hot shower, which we hadn't had in a really long time. And the gyms are starting to reopen around here. Planet Fitness opened back up a few days ago, and we were hoping to go there today to get a hot shower, but I called just to make sure that everything was kind of still going, getting back to normal, I guess, and it's not. The locker rooms are technically still closed. I mean, you can use the bathrooms, but their showers are completely blocked off. You cannot use the lockers. So I'm glad we didn't drive out of our way to try to go there to get a shower because we wouldn't have been able to. So there's not really too much reason for us to be sticking around the cities. It's a lot easier to take an outdoor shower when you're camped out in the middle of nowhere than when you're in a Walmart parking lot like we are right now. Our plan is to actually head west. We're going to go maybe about 50 miles west of Salt Lake City. There's some BLM land down there in the desert, so we're going to check that out. Hopefully there's not too many people out there camped, and we'll be able to, like I said before, kind of get away from the craziness of the city here. And, we kind of got used to it. We got used to traveling from Nevada. We spent 2 weeks on BLM land there, and then we went to Arizona and went to different national forests and kind of hopped around for like a month and a half or so. And then we got to Utah, and then we did the urban thing. I don't know, I kind of feel like I prefer being able to just camp out for a couple of weeks at a time, not having to worry about waking up in the morning, stealth camping, moving to different spots immediately, constantly moving around. If we're out there, we could just kind of stay put for a couple of weeks. So the only thing that really matters is that we really have to get cell coverage. Shannon, like we said in the last video, has started working again, which is really awesome. But we have to have internet coverage throughout the day so that she can work efficiently all day during the week. So that's going to be the number one priority today, is finding a spot somewhat isolated, but also still with a decent 4G connection. So probably not the best spot we've ever found. It's not really the best view out here or anything like that, and it's also really hot. It's supposed to be in the upper 80s again tomorrow, but then after that it's going to start to cool off. It's also really, really windy out here, and there's dust storms kicking up all over the place, and even with this thing open right here, I have sand blowing into my eyes through the screen here in the window. I think the next day or so is probably going to be pretty rough, but after that, like I said, it should get better. The weather should improve, and there is perfect cell coverage out here. Absolutely no problems working, so at least that's good. I might put the top down. This wind is not messing around. So this marks the beginning of our third day out here now. Yesterday, guys, was gnarly. That's probably the best word for it. It was absolutely crazy out here. We were pretty much just cooped up in the vans all day. It was super, super windy. It had to have been up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. This entire valley here was just covered in dust. It was just crazy dust storms everywhere. You can still kind of see a little bit of dust off in the distance and everything, kind of lingering around. It's actually supposed to get windy again today, but right now there's almost no wind at all, so I figured I was going to go for a little walk and try to enjoy being outside because there was no way we were doing that yesterday. This area out here is pretty beautiful, though. I think this is considered the Skull Valley in Utah, and there's really not anyone out here on this public land. Aside from the trailer that's parked right across the road from us, we really haven't seen too many other people Might have something to do with the extremely harsh conditions that we experienced yesterday, though. Maybe that's why they call it the Skull Valley. It is very ominous out there, almost like post-apocalyptic, like you see in the movies, with the wind and the dust and like all these crazy storms and stuff. It's a pretty weird place. I know this area is known for like weapons testing though, and even some like chemical and biological weapons and stuff like that, so I guess it's fitting. This is the first time the sun has come out since we got out here. I'm starting to forget what it was like to have like actual nice weather. It's amazing how different a place like this can look once the sun comes out a little bit. This is like the most I've gone out and walked around since we got out here over 5 days ago at this point. We've just kind of been cooped up in the vans and haven't really wanted to go outside between the crazy wind, and then it actually rained a little bit yesterday and the dust everywhere. It's just not a good environment for wanting to go out and explore. It's pretty neat. Apparently there was like an entire camping area up here, and I knew it was here when we first got here, but I didn't realize how big it was. I mean, the thing is huge and there's nobody up here. The only issue is I think it's primarily designed for off-road vehicles to access. Like, these roads are really narrow, they're really, really rough, and they're really small campsites. As cool as it would be, I think it would probably be more trouble than it's worth to try to get the vans up to this elevation. We have to climb up the really steep hill that's right next to our current campsite. I mean, the thing is like tough to walk up, so can't even imagine what it would be like to try to get the vans up here.
Thank you.
Christmas Day has come and gone, and broken toys and faded colors are all that's left to linger on. And I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. I can't forgive the way they robbed me of my childhood souvenirs. And memories, they can't be bought, they can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get these souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me. I have a feeling the weather is about to get pretty crazy again. The wind is starting to pick up, and there's a lot of rain in the forecast between this evening and then tomorrow and maybe even the next day as well. But we're not really planning to go anywhere at this point. We have at least another 7 or 8 days to stay out here. I think there's a 14-day limit, so actually probably more than that. What's 14 minus 5? We've got 9 more days. We could theoretically stay here. We did have a little bit of an issue today, though. When I was making those grilled cheeses for lunch, I made the sandwiches and then realized that the bread was covered in mold. It was like this like gross looking blue mold all over the bread. And that was like my plan for lunches for the next 7 days or so. So that is going to pose a little bit of a problem. It was a brand new loaf of bread. I bought that thing like 5 days ago when we first came out here when we were stocking up at the Walmart. And I just opened it like 2 days ago. I can't believe that it went bad that quickly, but it did, so that's going to pose a little bit of a problem. I'll have to be getting creative with my lunches for the next few days, but otherwise, we're just going to hunker down, try to avoid the bad weather, and then after that bad weather passes, hopefully we'll get a couple of nice days out here before we have to hit the road again. I think that pretty much sums it up for this one, though, guys. I hope y'all are doing well out there, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.